The right portion depicts an open book on a dark green background. Following from the left portion, the laws have now been written, have gone through the legislative process, have been enacted and appear on the statute book to be implemented and applied in practice to touch the lives of those governed, the citizens. The statute book is open, revealing the writing and symbolising the accessibility of the laws to the citizens. The dark green background represents the earth, the practical effect of the laws, the contracts and the legal opinions on the day-to-day lives of citizens.
The upper portion depicts a white-hand balance, scales against a dark blue background. Following from the right portion, the laws on the statute book, the laws, contracts and legal opinions must be tested and weighed against the Constitution and the rule of law, both by the courts and by the drafters, and if found wanting or deficient in any respect, the cyclical process must once again resume to correct the situation. Therefore, back to the quills, back to drafting, to ensure that the laws, contracts, legal opinions touching and regulating the lives of citizens do in fact reflect the principles of constitutionalism and the rule of law. The white hand, balance, scales represent impartiality, non-partisanship, and no undue influence. The dark blue background represents the sky, the high and lofty ideals and principles, those of constitutionalism and the rule of law, against which the laws, contracts and legal opinions must be measured and weighed. We as lawyers in the public sector must constantly remind ourselves of the practical expression of the rich symbolism attached to the logo of the association.
The establishment of our association, Kapsl, has been one of the most difficult projects that I've been involved in. The most challenging part was getting the necessary buy-in from colleagues that were not biting off more than we could chew. Other challenges related to the implementation of Kapsl's programs, motivating members to pay their subscription fees, and accessing other funding. When you're involved in building a structure from scratch, a tremendous emotional attachment develops between you and the structure without you even realizing it. I remember that we'll joke with the chairperson Sfiso and say, now we understand why cause I'm down, don't want to let go of SAFA. Fortunately, the current executive of Kapsl is aware of the potential dangers of undue emotional attachment and will let go when its term of office expires, submitting to the democratic election procedures for a new executive as set out in our constitution. The will of all Kapsl members will prevail in this.
As lawyers, we choose a career within the public sector for a host of reasons. My reason for choosing a career in the public service was that my personality seemed more geared towards giving back to society. Whilst doing my articles with the Legal Aid Board, I realized that it is the indigent that I exploited. Our job was to assist the indigent in their legal problems. I've seen abused women, tenants being evicted unlawfully, etc. With my move to a government department, I always had this feeling that there was so much more that we could do. Whilst we are contributing to service delivery within our employment, we needed to take an initiative to do more. For this reason, when the idea of a voluntary association came to the fore, I felt that I needed to be a part of that initiative so that I could have a say in and hopefully shape what is to come. I must say that we in our association have already commenced with giving back to our communities. With our partnership with Learn with Echo, Natal Witness, we are able to educate readers of that publication on issues pertaining to their legal rights. For example, I wrote simple articles on the Small Claims Court and domestic violence in the hope that people, after having read those articles, will be more empowered to utilize the Small Claims Court and obtain protection orders if they have to do so. No organization starts big. It starts with a concept, and it depends on the type of people that are committed to that organization that give impetus to that concept. We have a responsibility to be innovative and to provide leadership in our own right. We cannot sit back and wait for change. The change needs to start from within. We need to empower the South African people. We need to utilize the skills that we have obtained in our respective fields and help the indigent. I believe that many hands make less work, and therefore, when people of similar minds come together, we can do more. Thus, I joined Kapsl to start to achieve the objectives as set out in our Constitution, and also to ensure that, as lawyers within the public sector, we assist with service delivery initiative, which includes engaging with and assisting indigent persons in our communities by empowering them with the knowledge of their rights and where to seek legal assistance.